Hello and good evening. Welcome to Pure Heart Ministries YouTube channel, Evenings with Evangelist. I'm your host, Evangelist Patricia, talking about domestic violence. Today we will be talking about why women don't leave their domestic violence situation. A lot of people have opinions about it. A lot of people say, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just get out? Why are you staying in a bad situation like that when somebody treats you bad? People that's not in the situation don't really understand what it takes to get out of a domestic violence situation. Most of the times, and in most cases, it takes a woman 7 tries to get out before she actually does it. Yes, 7 times. We think about it. We say we're going to leave next Friday. Next Friday comes. We're still there. He's been nice, so he's been okay. He hasn't hit me, so I'm going to stay. Maybe he's changing. Sometimes we don't know why we stay. We stay for many of reasons, but I'm going to give you a few reasons tonight to help you understand a little bit better why women do stay in these type of situations. And I hope it will allow most people to see, or those that just say, why don't you just leave him? Why we don't just leave him, okay? So the first reason I want to give you of why women stay in their domestic violence situation is because of distorted thoughts. Distorted thoughts. What's going on in my mind, in your mind? What is the woman thinking about at the time when she's being abused, she's being mistreated, the kids are being abused, or they're seeing the abuse, and she stays? One of the things she's thinking about in these distorted thoughts is that it's my fault. A lot of women say that. It's my fault. I did something wrong. I made him mad. None of these are excuses for a man to abuse you. I don't care what it is, what you may have done. He may have gotten mad, but there's still no reason for him to abuse you. And when you've done it so long, you just get to the point, sometimes you think you don't even deserve better, when in actuality you do, because someone that loves you would not treat you the way a person that's abusing you would treat you. So you have to know that. And again, I said it before in one of my other videos, you have to know your value and you have to know your worth as a woman. And when you know that, you won't just stay because you don't think you deserve better, or because you feel like you made him mad or you provoked him. Those are still not reasons for a man to put his hands on you. Another reason women stay in domestic violence situations is because of fear. They're scared to leave. If you have someone that has been with their child's father or their husband or their woman, they may be just scared to leave. They don't know what to do. They've been with this person so long, they don't know how to function on their own. They're dependent on this person. So therefore, they just stay and endure, and they continue to hope that the situation will get better. And most of the time it does not. Most of the time it does not. But I need you women to understand that if you see things are bad and they're not getting better, that's not a reason to stay. That's more of a reason for you to get out of the situation so you can be safe, so you can get help, so you can get counseling, so you can get whatever services and resources you need to help you get your life back on track, to help you take care of your kids in a safe environment as well as yourself, and live a life that's good and productive and happy, not a life of fear. God did not give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the spirit of sound mind, love, and power. So you have to know who you are. Some women in domestic violence situations may be saved, some may not be. But at the same time, it goes back to knowing your worth, know your value, know how you should be treated as a woman, as a queen, how your daughter should be treated as a princess, how your son should be treated as a prince. Okay? You have to know these things. You cannot be fearful. And if you are fearful, you need to overcome that fear. Think about your life and the best interest of your children. If you can't do it for yourself, do it for your children, because your children deserve a good life. Kids didn't ask to be here. They are a blessing, but they should not have to endure a life of violence and abuse because you choose to stay with your abuser. Okay? The next reason women stay in domestic violence relationships is because of their kids. A lot of women do this, so many women. And they say, girl, why don't you just leave him? And she'll say, well, I have kids. He's my kid's father. You know what? If you left him and he moved to Africa, he would still be your kid's father. No matter where he is in the world, he would still be those kids' father. But at the same time, if he kills you and then turns around and kills himself, the children will have no mother or father. Then where are they? They're left abandoned. They're left in foster care. They're left to be orphaned. And in a lot of cases here lately, just this week, I've heard about at least 5 cases where there was domestic violence, murder, suicide, and the kids were killed as well. So don't stay for your kids. I promise you, your kids will always have a father. And if their biological father is absent from the relationship, you always have God the Father to take care of them. And I'm a witness to that. I raised 4 kids by myself. So you can do it. You can do it. You, yes you, I'm talking to you, single mother, married woman, you can do it. Do not stay for your kids' sake because it's not beneficial to them or you, okay? I want you to be safe. I'm tired of hearing about young women dying, kids getting killed. It just makes no sense at all, and it's so sad that it's happening so much day after day after day, day in, day out. You hear on the news, you're reading in the paper, murder, suicide, domestic violence issue. Police were called, woman killed, woman ran over, woman hit in the head with a brick, and it's just not good. Innocent kids should not catch the brunt of an abuser's violence because the mother does not want to leave. Again, if you don't want to do it for yourself, look in your children's face and see that they deserve a life better than that, okay? You have to take that into consideration because they don't want to be in that type of situation. Kids just want to be kids. They just want to play. They just want to be happy. They don't want to hear mommy crying at night. And trust me, if you think your kids don't know what you're going through, you're sadly mistaken. Kids are smarter than we give them credit for, and half of the time they know what's going on, even if you don't talk to them about it and say, oh, mommy and daddy just had an argument or whatever. But kids are listening, and kids see things. Kids see things, and you think a child maybe as young as 4 or 5 don't understand what's going on between their parents, but they do. They do. I've seen it myself firsthand, so I know that this is true. Okay? The next reason women stay in domestic violence situation is because of financial reasons. A lot of times the woman may be a stay-home mom. She may work, but he may control her money. He may be controlling with her money. When she gets paid, he may take her paycheck from her and give her, a small allowance to have. He may just give her gas money or may just put gas in the car, and she's not able to access her money. And this is where last week in my video I said women have to learn how to have a separate bank account. Get a prepaid debit card where you can load money on it so that you can have money of your own that you can access whenever you need to in case of emergency. Money should not be the reason, or lack of, should not be the reason you stay with an abuser. Well, he pays all the bills. He's taking care of everything. I can't afford to pay rent or mortgage. You know what? You don't know what you can do until you actually get out there and try it on your own. Sometimes when our back is put against the wall, we are so strong and powerful as women. But you have to get made up in your mind that I want better for myself. I want better for my children. I want a better life. God wants us to live life and life more abundantly. He doesn't want us to live a life where we're sad and depressed and we don't want to live and we want to take our lives. Do you know kids can feel your depression, and when they see you go through so much, you may be thinking about taking your life, all the while your kid may be thinking about taking their life as well, because they're tired of hearing mommy and daddy fuss, or seeing mommy cry, or seeing mommy hurt with a black eye or a broken arm. Mommy's always going to the hospital for something. Kids, trust me, they understand and they figure it out what's going on. So you might can tell them some off the wall story. Underneath all that, they really know what's going on. So please don't let money be the reason you stay in your domestic violence situation. Again, start saving some money, get a separate bank account, leave money to somebody that you know that you can trust that will hold the money for you. If you don't feel safe going to a bank or getting a prepaid debit card, something he can't trace or get a hold of, leave it, get it and leave it at your job in the drawer or something like that. So when you need it, you may need to, if you decide to leave and you say, well, we don't have nowhere to go and you need to go stay in a hotel, you have money on that card to use. Okay? I really hope you would take heed to the things I'm saying so that you can understand why we should not stay in these domestic violence situations. But these are just some of the reasons that we do stay. A lot of people say, just leave, just leave. It's not so simple as getting up, walking out the door. Because when you try to leave a domestic violence situation, that is the most dangerous time of the situation you can endure. Because when an abuser thinks you're gotten strong enough that you want to leave them, now they're really mad and they want to hurt you. And they will try to do whatever they can do to stop you from leaving. I mean, you've seen it on plenty of movies, and it's true. TV is fiction, and their characters playing a role. But those things that they play on those movies are real life instances. Real life instances. The woman is trying to sneak out during the middle of the night. He wakes up and breaks her neck. He doesn't care if he throws the kid around or not. So you have to decide, I'm not going to stay because he paid all the bills. Get a job. You can get help. Find what resources can help you and your children. If you have to go to a shelter for 6 months or a transitional home, you need to do that. Get back on your feet on your own so you can help yourself and your child. Okay? Please do that. Another reason women stay in domestic violence situations is because of isolation. Isolation. And when I say isolation, I'm saying that to say a lot of times men are controlling and women will cut their families off. Women will cut their families off. I'm a witness to that. I cut off my mother for about, 3 or 4 years. Didn't speak to her, didn't see her, So if a person is isolated, they have no friends, you're not allowed to go anywhere, you're not allowed to hang out, you're not talking to your family, they don't know what you're going through. You're at work and your coworkers may see something or feel like they know something's not right with you, but you haven't confided in anyone, so they don't know for sure that you're enduring this abusive relationship. They just know, when Patty comes to work, she's not right. Something's not right with her. She seems a little off or sad or depressed or whatever. But isolating yourself is a bad thing, because that way he can get more in your head. When you're isolated, when you go to work and you come straight home from work and you go nowhere else, that is the moment he can continue to brainwash you. Make you think you don't need to have any friends. Your friends aren't any good for you. They don't trust you. They don't like you. Those type of things. Anything to get your mind focused off anything but him. He will try to make you think that he's the only one that loves you. He's the only one that cares about you. Nobody else in life is important but him. Not even your kids. Sometimes they don't even want you to realize that your kids are important to you. So you have to be aware of these type things and just, it's really hard. It's really hard. And I know you can't just get up and leave and walk out. I know that. So I'm trying to help you understand what things you can do so that when you get the strength up to go, and I pray you do, that you'll know what to do and how to do it. And none of these things that I have said will hold you back from leaving and living a good life. The next and last thing I want to talk about is not having a plan. A lot of women don't leave because they don't have a plan. And when I say they don't have a plan, they don't have money saved. They don't have nowhere to go. They don't have no one to help them, no one to talk to. You can't just get up and go if you have nowhere to go. If you don't have your own car, how are you going to get around? This is why you have to plan. You have to save your money on the side. You have to make sure you have your important documents, your ID, copies of school records, medical records, your lease, duplicate driver's license, a deed to your house if you own a home. You need to have those documents in an envelope sealed away somewhere that's protected, that when you get your strength up to leave, and you'll be able to have everything you need to get your child registered in school, to go to the doctor, and all those type of things. But you have to plan for that, because when you just say, okay, today is it, he comes home and beats you for whatever reason, and you say, today is it, I'm going to leave. But when you leave, you got to remember what you're leaving behind. Everything that you need is in the house. And if you've left it and don't have it, you're still kind of stuck. I'm glad that you left, but at the same time, you may have to go back and face him. And at that time, and women have done this, they end up right back in there with him. They end up right back, because when you go back to get stuff out of there, he's going to be very nice. He's going to talk to you sweet. He's going to say all the right things. He's going to ask you to forgive him. He wasn't in his right mind. He's so sorry, and he didn't mean it. He was just upset. Don't fall for any of those shenanigans. Do not. Don't fall for it, because if you leave, God be praised, if you can't get those documents, you can get them again. You can get them again. You may have a little hard time getting them all again, but you'll be able to do it. But I'm telling you, if you plan ahead and prepare, you will have what you need. So when you get your strength to leave, my sister, and I'm praying you do very soon, you will have everything you need. And that even includes having a bag of clothes for yourself and or your child or children at someone's house. So when you leave with the clothes on your back, as far as he knows, you're leaving with the clothes on your back. You're going to go to that neighbor's house or that friend's house that you trust, that has been your confidant. Get your bag of clothes, get your package of important documents, get your bank card, and go do what you need to do and handle your business. Take care of yourself and your children, okay? So I'm going to wrap it up right now today. And again, we were just talking about reasons women do not leave their domestic violence situation. We talked about distorted thoughts. We talked about fear. We talked about having children with this man. We talked about money issues, financial constraints, the lack of money. We talked about isolation, no family, no friends, no one to talk to or confide in. And we also talked about not having a plan. In order to leave a domestic violence situation, you must, hear me clear, you must have a plan. You must. And that may take some time to put together, because I would pray that anyone that is planning on leaving gets out safely. So if you plan, you'll get out safely. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. That will conclude our episode for today, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave any comments below. Pure Heart Ministries. This is Evenings with Evangelist. I am your host, Evangelist Patricia. And as always, remember to keep your heart pure, and thank you. Blessings.